So I'm going to show you the exact order I do things in order to tile onto plasterboard the right way. I would take my plasterboard, whether it's moisture resistant, ideal for bathrooms and kitchens where it might get damp, or standard plasterboard. I have a tendency to use 12.5 millimeters unless it's for a ceiling where I might use 9.5 millimeters on an existing ceiling. So you take your plasterboard, clean it off, screw it to your walls, clean your plasterboard off. I'd even sometimes get a vacuum, hoover off all the dust. And then to make extra sure and avoid any mistakes, I would treat my plasterboard with a coat of SBR primer, which has like a latex in it, so it sort of provides a little bit of waterproofing, and it also provides good adhesion for the tile adhesive. You don't have to use SBR for standard plasterboard, but if you're wanting to do a really good job and you definitely don't want to have to rip your tiles off in a year or two's time, use SBR. You don't need to on standard plasterboard, but you do need to use SBR on moisture resistant plasterboard because it's just a little bit denser and the tile adhesive is less likely to stick. So I always, as a rule of thumb, to avoid any mistakes, I always SBR my plasterboard. Then I put some of my tile adhesive on the wall, I put some of my tile adhesive on the back of the tile, and then I carry on tiling straight onto my plasterboard. If you know that an area is getting tiled, there's no need to skim the plasterboard or tape and joint the plasterboard. You want to take your plasterboard, coat it with SBR, and then you're good to go with your tile adhesive. I much prefer the tile adhesive that you have to mix yourself. It's a little bit more complicated, but it tends to dry a lot better and stick the tiles to the wall far better than the ready mix tile adhesive.